highest percentage we've had in terms of a vote.
I believe we've had 95-5, so 91 isn't too far off, and it was 92 at one point. But Moist are going to be kicking things off against SMPR. They have got an unbelievably huge fan base behind them now. Okay, so you know they earned the hearts of so many people in Europe, and Moist is going to continue growing at that. And SMPR, they've got a lot to go up against on and off the pitch.
Yeah, but it's not going to be easy for Moist right now. SMPR Esports are a team that made it to the first major back when they had Archie instead of Exotic. So this is the team that has done it pretty much all in the realm of the RLCS. Got far in that, top 4, I believe, as well. So don't expect this one to be easy. Any Moist fans out there. And SMPR fans, well, you're in for a good game right here because Moist are going to be incredibly speedy, so attacking, and show so many mechanics. I think 91 and 9% Stumpy is a little bit unfair on SMPR. I think it's going to be a close one.
Yeah, hoping so. Hoping the game 5 get as much content as possible out of them. But sure set, up for one shot. Rise diving in front of Vatira to clear that one away. But good send up high onto the backboard with Exotic. Managing to clear that ball away. Finds Casio onto the opposite side of the wall. Joyo can't quite get his nose to the tip of the pass from Vatira. And look at the boys using nice coloured decals and stuff. You know, repping that blue side.
So close to connecting with that clearance from defense that Vatira just sent long was Rise earlier on. Could have been a real chance for them early doors in this first game. It's going to be a long old series. The short set races Vatira to the ball, but Vatira beats him. Exotic was already up, and we saw that so much in his last series. Pre-jumps from SMPR. Esports are going to have to try and get through that, but bumps will help. Rise now has a couple of touches. Casio steams in quickly. Vatira there takes the second touch. The communication on point, as always. His teammate left the ball to him. And now Rise, though, leads it to short set.
Yeah, it was a good turn by Rice, keeping that pressure on, but Joyo able to get over the top of Atomic onto the right wall. Casio will fly. The pressure from SMPR, those pre-jumps going to be as important as ever because we know how quick Moist are able to be. And the way to beat that is just get off the ground before the floating ball, though, sees Moist concede, and Casio is the one to send it in.
Great start for SMPR. Look at the speed from Exotic there, beating Vatira to the ball, and then Chaussette as well getting involved, making the finish for Casio as easy as possible. The man who had all the momentum in the play managed to put it away, and it's an early lead here for SMPR. Well, I say early. I mean, we're a couple of minutes into the game, and SMPR have just got the first one. It just goes so quickly on the Rocket League, looks like this.
A good chance for Vatira to get that double tap. Joyo on target, and Joyo through 3 defenders that time. A great pass from Vatira straight to the backboard. Fakes out that double tap with Chaussette miss as well. There's a touch that came in from Chaussette, but just not quite enough.
Yeah, Chaussette almost recovered and was able to get the save there in the end after missing on the backboard, but not quite to be. And there was the equalizer for Moist in the form of Joyo, who had such a good major. I mean, all 3 of them did. Here he comes again. Rise here, trying to build some momentum up. Past another player there, but SMPR just showing solidity. Chaussette now has a chance to dribble. Such a good dribbler of the ball. One of the most famous dribblers of the ball in all of Rocket League is Chaussette. Didn't work out too well for him there, but still pressure for SMPR. They are looking better, dare I say, than they did in the last series, but they're up against a better team.
I mean, we said that SMPR needed to work out those kinks, and they certainly have looked to be doing that. They've made sure that they're a lot tighter. They are rotating quite as close to each other. Exotic in particular, although he was very good in terms of goal participation, his positioning left question marks. He was far too close to his teammates and led to some double commits. With Exotic, though, pre-jumping that shot, Joyo has to clear it away as quick as he possibly can. With Casio to the ceiling, he can touch it down. And look at Moist having to spread themselves so thin just to try and save any shot that SMPR put on target.
Lovely pass into the center towards Casio, but he is completely boostless. All he can do is fake the Moist defense out, try and make them think he's got something until his teammate comes in. That's what happened. And that's Casio in the corner. More pressure from SMPR. They do look like the better team so far in this first game, despite conceding most recently. Rise's pass is only going to fall as far as Exotic. He takes a couple of touches as well. Lots of clean touches right now for SMPR. It's surprising to see Moist give away so much pressure and let their opponents have all this possession. I'll have a plan, I'm sure, but right now SMPR will be very happy with how the first 4/5 of this game has gone.
Lots of ball control as well coming in, just in the midfield, tapping it high, making sure that Moist aren't able to clear it too far down the pitch. Casio pushing with 0 boosted. Exotic was able to take the shot off, but it just came to him far too quickly. Vatira on the left wall with 50 boosts. He's Joyo central, doesn't try and find him. Goes for the fake low. Exotic clearing away. Rise with a pretty unfortunate touch. Instead just falls to Joyo, there's nobody from Semper thought he was going to mess it up just as he did. A good boost steal from Vatira means that this attack is able to continue until a long clear comes in the final 30 seconds. These teams level so far.
I feel like this game is going to come down to what can Moist do in the air. Can they surprise Semper with those pre-jumps in defense? Make them regret their decisions. Vatira with a relatively simple save across goal and a lovely demo from Joyo on Cassio. Opens a bit of space for Vatira, but Exotic, who's really just treating himself as a battering ram in this first game, closes them down so quickly. No respect being shown to the new team with the new org. Rise clears long, 7 seconds away from overtime in game 1 of this series. Rise to the ceiling, Cassio gets it forward.
Will he?
Depending on this touch. No, there's not going to be one. Overtime in game 1.
He tried it. He really went for that ball. Wanted to keep it up. Felt like that attack could have become something. But instead, we have overtime in this first game. Semper doing a phenomenal job to be taking control, I think, of game number 1. They have been the dominant team, I would say.
Yeah, agreed. I think they've looked slightly more likely to just force a goal. Moist, of course, more likely to force a beautiful goal. Here's Exotic trying to get bumps. Cassio arrives in. Rise. He's the man who has his eyes open right now for Moist, but Shorset keeps the attack going. Vatira's up against him. I think Shorset needed that boost in the center, and now Vatira can do what he does best, get it over the top of one of the Semper defenders. It's good goalkeeping coming in from Semper, but how long can they last? The boost is starting to run out. The double taps from Moist are occurring. Here's Rise now, this time. Exotic with that all-important clearance. Vatira will scamper back and save it, but that's the danger for Moist.
Yeah, I thought Vatira was bumped then, but instead he was able to get back. And look at him going for bumps himself on the opposite side of the pitch. Rise being challenged with Joyo holding that ball very close to his chest. It falls now to Cassio. Seashore sets central. Can't quite get too much of a touch with 0 boost, but does manage to eke it away from any Moist player. Good pinch from Shorset. With Rise going high, Cassio's the one to block it, and he does so. Minute and 15 have gone. And look at Semper continue to take control. Great pass from Exotic central to Shorset. So many avenues attack opening for Semper.
Yeah, Shorset's really impressed me so far with both of his performances. His dribbling has been so good. Needs to do more, though, in here. Cassio gets the save across the goal. Brilliant defending in the end from Semper. So close to Moist winning the first game.
Oh, the fact that doesn't go in when I really felt like it was going to. Just Queso now falling on the opposite side of any of these issues. In this stays. Good chance for Shorset to dribble it high. Does manage to get it onto the back ball. Look at Vatira, though, removing Cassio from the play. Means that now when he finds himself back in his own corner, he can get something going. But Cassio with 55 boost. Not too much as Rise bumps him away from that ball. He will steal that back corner. Joyo in the skies. Nothing coming from it. And now 2 minutes elapsed in this game 1 overtime.
Yeah, I think Moist just need to fall back a little bit, pick up some boost, and then rally themselves for the next big push. That could be the starting point. Vatira taking out Shorset, opening up that space. That was going to the top corner. Almost. It just came off the crossbar. Joe tries to put a pass in the middle, but Shorset already up, showing so much pace. So it's a little bit stuck in the center here, which means that Rise can come in and go almost for that double tap. So near and yet so far on that attack. A few bumps are going to fly in. It's going to cause some chaos here in defense for Semper. Great read from Joyo as well. Comes to nothing, but they are so unpredictable, these Moist boys.
There are few chances that they're able to get a goal from, and chance for a flip reset Rise, but I think Joyo had like 2 chances to score there on open nets, or at least low defended nets, and really could be a missed opportunity. Cassio, though, pinching that ball towards the open net, with Joyo having to save that one away. Good opportunity on the left-hand side. Exotic picking up the ball in the skies. Lovely. Does get another touch. His goal participation has been great so far, but Cassio fluffs the shot. No assist for Exotic today.
Cassio could have done a lot more with that. It was a real chance for him to put that one on net. And now Moist can come forward. Rise fakes out Shorset and Exotic. Brilliant play from Rise. Is that going to open things up? Not quite. Cassio, he took the risk. The last man going in there, but now we have a one-on-one. Shorset jumping up early. Rise is arriving. He actually fakes out Cassio. Cassio does so well with no boost. Semper have been boosted up for about 2 minutes at this point. So when Moist go high, it's so difficult for Semper to reach them. And they really are now, Stumpy, starting to turn the screw. This could be the moment. Oh, Cassio with another touch.
They had about 20 between them, and Moist had 80 plus for every single player. Really good chance for Semper's defense holding strong time and time again with Exotic pinching that ball high. Joyo actually fakes out the shot. Vatira sends it high as well. Why was that not on target? Rise is the one to take it low in the end. Joyo up. Shorset to save away. And with a backflip from Rise, I do not know what's happening with that man today.
Everything from Moist right now except the finish 4 minutes into overtime. Almost an entire other game of Rocket League has been played just to get this first pip on the board. Vatira, double tap attempt to the ceiling. Rise is coming in. Rise is going to finish it right there. It was from Vatira, but it's Rise who wins it.
It took 4 minutes and 17 seconds, but Moist come out on top. Unfortunate that Exotic wasn't able to flip that one away, but it was the pressure from Vatira that forced it central for Rise to be able to score it. Finally, there were chances from both teams to have a better shot than they had. And I think for me, Moist, when you look at the chances they had, they were more clear-cut. They were trying to go for something a bit more than realistically they needed to. They could have just gone for a simple shot, force a save, and then go for one follow-up if there's one keeper. But they do get the game. We can see more from Moist, and I think from SMPR, we can see even their midfield play was so wonderful and so fantastic that it held Moist back in so many opportunities. And just a great first game. We had 10 minutes orb in our opener.
And listen, it is, I called it the main stage, but the mainstream, it just makes sense that the most scripted games, the longest games are right here. I just want to say, I love listening in because I'm trying to not laugh because I'm actually hot micing while I'm sitting here. And it's just like hearing Cole just be like, them Moist boys are at it again. And I'm like, esports in 2022 is in an amazing, amazing place. To give you some of the results real quick, okay? BDS won the first matchup against Luminosity 4-2. Obviously, Luminosity coming off of their good sweep there, so it was looking like maybe BDS couldn't hang, but 4-2 in the first game. Vitality wins the first game 2-1 against Liquid.
Oh.
We had Endpoint. I think they're currently down 0-4. Let me check. Yeah, 10 seconds left. They're currently down 4 games. Sorry, 4
games. Wow,
goals.
they really have
Sorry, 4 goals. I meant 4 goals. But there are some of the results.
God, so wow, that is everything happening in Europe right now with Vitality. I'm impressed by them. We're seeing Radosin on their side. Liquid not able to keep up with that. But so far, it's Moist being able to take one over SMPR. Great touch from Rise. Is he starting to feel it? Shortset is going to cut him down before he gets his answer.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see that after their top performance in LA, they've not come back looking a little bit sluggish, like they've already achieved all they want to achieve. Still so much desire, but SMPR have some of their own, Stumpy, and Casio from the ceiling gets them their first goal.
Really good fake for Exotic here because Vatira has to respect that. He has to respect that there'll be a wonder shot coming in from the corner. We literally saw Scrub score one earlier on today. And just seeing Vatira have to go near post and work his way out when he can't jump opens it up for Casio entirely. And again, for SMPR, an early opening goal.
And a disgusting pre-jump from Exotic as well. He is a man who has absolutely no fear. Casio and Shortset have to figure out how to play around him, which can't be too easy when he plays at such a frantic pace. So to the Moist though, here's Joyo. He has a pass out wide with Rise, goes solo instead, which Shortset just about got the read from. Good defending, and we have a trade. Rise and Casio open up some space for each team, so it's 2v2 for a split second. Shortset wants to pinch this one, but it's Joyo that it falls for.
Yeah, but a good pinch there from to Exotic, rather, from the side of Shortset. Pinches from SMPR have just been ridiculously fortuitous. Scoring 2 previously when they're playing versus KC, and a pass again, doing wonders with Casio. Chance for a shot, and below the crossbar, he will snipe. SMPR are looking absolutely outstanding.
Lovely finish from Casio. Joyo was arriving. I think Joyo would have thought that he had that one covered, but such was the quality of the finish from Casio. Pretty much unstoppable from that position. 2-0 SMPR, and this is what we saw from them earlier. They don't look like the most fluid team in the world or the fastest, not the best mechanics, but my goodness, Stumpy, do they know how to score goals.
Yeah, they've done such a good job, and looking at what their opponents are doing with Queso. I'm going to keep saying Queso. I apologize immensely to everybody on Moist.
Casio,
and then I was going to say his opponents in Moist. They will want to have as much control of this game by playing as fast as they possibly can. Hence, their pre-jumps have been absolutely vital. Exotic, mainly, has just been in the right place, right time and time again, and has shut down anything that Moist want to be getting going. But Vatira, he has to open that cupboard of tricks, and he finds a flip reset.
Yeah, but it was Exotic who got the block as well. He just tracked Vatira's run the entire time and just got his car. A big old Fennec right in the way. SMPR, when they have a lead, are so difficult to break down. Moist can do it though. We know that they are capable of breaking down pretty much any team in the world right now, but SMPR are going to keep on coming. There's Exotic with another shot. They're finding so much space. His shot set to the ceiling now. Going to try and surprise Rise. But Rise finds a little touch out wide towards Exotic. Does he flip reset? Does he just get half a touch? He's going for a forced flip reset there, and I feel like now SMPR are having some fun in this series.
They're certainly feeling and looking a lot lighter because they have been the better team. Cassio able to shoot on an open net thanks to the work done by Shawset in the midfield. Moving forwards, you see him target Rise. And Cassio with a tap in on Aquadome. That is 3, and that is SMPR really starting to play a brand new game.
It's also Cassio's second hat-trick of the day. It seems like when he gets one, they come in burst. He gets 1 or 2 more. The belief just flows through his veins. His shot set now. SMPR absolutely feeling this one. Shawset's going to charge down Joyo. It's a nice pass out to Vatira, but his boom is going to be pretty ineffective. It'll get them a little bit of territory. Actually, a lot of territory. It's more effective than perhaps I gave it credit for. But SMPR find a way out yet again, and one touch from Exotic, and Moist find themselves all the way back.
Shawset's immediately up to pre-jump that, and exactly what I said earlier, Cassio, his positioning was brilliant. He just sat behind Shawset, and you saw he wasn't getting the touch, and so then he is able to challenge Shawset, though bumping Exotic. I'm going to take away a little bit of my praise. Thank you very much, mister.
Well, Rise, what can you do? What can you do, Moist, right now up against SMPR? Can you break them down 3 times in the next 1 minute and 35 seconds? That's a good start. Exotic just tries to track Joyo. Vatira with half a touch, but he's not quite sure what to do in that situation when he has 2 goalkeepers just staring at him. Any way you put it, we can be between us, is what SMPR Esports are saying right now. Maybe this is what's needed. A nice, fast-paced double attempt from Joyo. Rise has missed, just not working out from Moist. And it is masterful tactics right now from SMPR.
Yeah, it's great gameplay across the board. SMPR are taking control of this game. In case we need to wrestle it back, Vatira, look at that air dribble.
Moist.
So smooth. Oh, did I say it again?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I have such a stupid, thick, dullard brain. And I'm really trying my best.
Oh, Vatira tries his best. And unlike Stumpy, he actually gets it through and scores a goal.
Yeah, that's very fair. Great slowdown from Rise. Manages to actually get a touch to Shawset out into the center, but that is exactly where Vatira is lurking, a player for Moist Esports.
Hey, there it is. Woo! 51 seconds left, 2 goals needed. SMPR have been so good defensively all day. Can Moist change that? Lovely touch from Joyo. Cassio is all alone. He's actually not alone at all. There's no one there. It's 2-3.
When it rains, it pours, and Moist are certainly starting that off. Look at that dive in from Vatira to remove the keeper from the net. Joyo again on an opener. And Moist are feeling so at home now here on Aquadome.
SMPR, you had it all in the palm of your hands, but now your metal is well and truly being tested. Suddenly, Moist are looking like the Queso of old, the team that is so dangerous and can take the fight to anyone. Exotic, though, is going to win this one cleanly. Joyo is waiting. He has passing options. Vatira to his right, Rise to his left, goes solo. Who's going to be the player to help him out? Shawset's pre-jumping. It's faked underneath him. Vatira, if he can get a good 50-50, it could be 3-all. Not quite just yet. Rise can't beat Shawset to that one. Joyo already has 100 boost. And Shawset, brilliant dribbling to get that one away.
Yeah, good opportunities, though, for Vatira to continue down the pitch. The catch from Joyo, actually, see Shawset drawn out towards that ball. Vatira removing one. The shot away from Cassio. We're finding it back in the blue net. Moist have to start all over again. Joyo with a miss. And SMPR bring the series back to 1-all.
SMPR, amazing play from them to get that victory and keep the series well and truly alive. It was nerve-wracking for them, though, I think. In that last 30 seconds, Orb, they would have gone from feeling like they had the whole world in their hands to just panic stations.
Things can quickly change, all right, in a professional game of Rocket League. I want to point out and say professional game of Rocket League because now when there's less matches to keep track of, I've been looking a little bit in the Rocket League chat, you know, our chat, and somebody asked, what rank is this? And I just want to make a point that this is professional Rocket League, which is like what rank? Like gold and up? Like what are we talking?
Like silver 2.
I mean, yes, no, but that's correct. Gold and up. Yeah, it is.
I guess technically, technically that is correct. Just wanted to let you know, Twitch chat member, this is professional Rocket League that we're watching. All right, SMPR responding a little bit. Interesting to see. I love that Moist was like at the edge of it. I say Moist. CEO founder Moist, critical. He was getting into it. All right, he was getting excited for what's to come. Love to see it. Now for some results. Okay, BDS is up 2. Well, it's 2-1 in this series now. Luminosity maybe waking up a little bit. We have Vitality, who's up 2-0. It's currently 1-1 in their game 3. And then we have Endpoint currently in a tied game that just went to overtime. Obviously, Solar is up by 1 game.
If anybody wants to watch those series as well, you can. You're able to go and Google any of these team names, look at Twitch, and see where they are streaming, because there are so many casters and personalities, and everybody's showing the games off. But here on the main channel, on twitch.tv/Rocket League and on YouTube, we are seeing Moist open up the scoring in just 5 seconds.
Keeping up that Aquadome momentum are Moist in the 3rd game. Early lead for them. Semp, what can you do when you're chasing? We all know you can hold a lead, just about, in the last one. When you actually have to force the issue, this is what they can do. They certainly can play that way and equalize instantly.
Cassio just shooting so strong today. He sees that Vatira has to immediately jump. Vatira has to pre-jump. He's only just come around from being bumped. And so if Cassio shoots it high, he has a great chance of scoring. Sends it middle of the net. Just really nice, solid placement.
Good start to this 3rd game all round. Exciting stuff. Couple of goals flying in early doors. Exactly what you want to see to open things up. As Rise trying to open up the Semper defense. Rise is going to wait for this one. How much boost does he have is the question. Enough to do something with. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But Chaussette was stopping in either way. A rare miss from Vatira. And Rise has to help out before Exotic manages to get the easiest finish of his life right there. More good speed from Cassio. He has definitely been the player who is making a claim for himself, being Semper's MVP right now. So involved for Semper as Chaussette comes forward yet again.
Yeah, and Cassio, that was his 10th goal of the day, and we've seen him in 2 series so far. He's done phenomenally well. Seeing as also, we saw him make so many errors early on versus MKC. He had weird positional mistakes, he was just playing a bit strangely, and it just wasn't working. Turning that around in such short span of time is so professional of him.
Chaussette on the backboard wants to get a massive clearance and does. It just scraped the ceiling, which he wants to avoid, but it had enough angle on it to not do too much damage to the clearance, and then Chaussette continues to cause so much damage to Moist's defense right there. Cassio is just given time by Vatira to make sure his touch can't just pinch awkwardly into the goal. We've seen a few Semper pinches go in.
I have a result to share. News Orb is here. We have Vitality, who just confirmed swept in their series. They are currently the only team to have swept in this round.
Wow. Thank you, Newsorb. Big news, massive news there with Newsorb. They swept Liquid as well, a team that they've only just made it back onto these main events, and they've got a very young roster, so hopefully the mentality won't be too shook by that in the long run. But thank you very much, Newsorb.
Getting some hype, Liquid. Anyway, we continue here. Vatira trying to finish that one. It's looking good for Moist right now. Speaking of Liquid, they're just putting themselves more into this 3rd game after conceding straight away after getting that 1st goal. They're looking good. They're looking fluent. I was about to say fluid. Yeah, no, shouldn't say that. Joy over touch. Into the corner goes he. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches. Exotic just watching it all the way. This is Semper back in their more natural form. Just trying to hold off their opponents at arm's length for as long as they possibly can do. Rise trying to break that one down. Eventually, you feel, Semper will clear this ball away. Doesn't seem to be too much incision in the Moist attack, but Rise's demo on Chaussette could change that. Rise is coming in now. Chaussette recovered, and Chaussette just prods it away.
Vatira desperately with 0 boost just wanted somebody to come in on that ball, but everybody just a touch too far away. Look at the pre-jumps from Semper again. It's everybody just goes up for these balls, and it's something that you do not see very often working time and time again. But Queso, that is clearly their downfall. And Semper seem to have a real knack for seeing which touch is the genuine touch and which one, is that final touch that they will be making. Because they aren't committing too early to these pre-jumps either.
At risk of the biggest caster curse ever, they seem somewhat unfakeable to Semper. You're completely right, Stumpy. They just have that 6th sense of when it is that Moist are actually going to pull the trigger, and it's working so well for them. They can swallow up all of this pressure. Now they have a chance of their own. Exotic tries to put it away. What a sucker punch that would have been.
1 minute 20 remains, and it's still even in this game with Moist Joyo unable to clear that one away too convincingly. It remains in that blue half. Short set lurking on the halfway line, and what a man he has been. Pre-jumping maestro we have seen from him in this series so far. Joyo into the corner with Exotic, sends it low. He can then meet up with it again on that left-hand side. He just continues going, and Rise is called into action.
Yeah, SMPR just trying to break through Moist. When they do, suddenly they look very dangerous, and not rushing that either. Moist have to show some patience of their own. If they get frustrated and rush this, then SMPR are going to punish them the same way they punished Carmine Corp in the last round. Rise has missed it. Vatira's coming in. Beats Shorset this time, but there's just two SMPR defenders right there. Exotic a great touch as well. That is so difficult to judge. He's managed to do it. Vatira, does he have the pass? No, again. Cassio closing him down so quickly, and now you can see he's got no boost, but it doesn't matter. He's got ball control.
Final 25 seconds with Joyo relinquishing control from that
Great
ball,
touch.
and Cassio demoing another. This falls awkwardly central. Final 15. Can Rise get this clear away and into a shooting position? He gets over one. Joyo is able to go on to it next. Rise to shoot, but he just can't quite get his car around that ball. The final 5 is still a push, though, from Moist. Can he get that ball central? He cannot. And Cassio to the floor. That ball stays up with 0.1 of a second left. He steals that back boost as well. This ball stays aerial. Exotic, central. Vatira has to get the touch. Can. Touch central from Shorset, and Cassio, off the back of that, will win the game for SMPR.
SMPR, wow, they do it their own way. They just hold and they grind and they never concede, and then they get one chance at 0 seconds. SMPR Esports 2-1 up, 1 game away from taking the series.
In a series that nobody thought they would be able to take, SMPR have grabbed the horn of the bull and they are riding them into the sunset. That is such a well-managed series so far. They just need one more to close it out.
The pain from the Moist boys. So close, yet so far away. Let's see how it all shapes up. We have Solari currently 2-0, my friends. 2-0 in the series against Endpoint. It's currently 1-1 here in game number 3. BDS was on track. It's currently now 3-3. They were on track to beat out Luminosity. They are up 2-1 in the series. 35 seconds ago. Maybe it's an overtime. Maybe one team can close it out. But listen, it's almost like it's an upper quarters, and it's like really intense action all around. It's almost like every matchup is going to be hard to predict. But listen, how is chat feeling about their 92% prediction for Moist?
Probably not brilliant right now, you know. But that's the beauty of Rocket League, and also the beauty of Rocket League. If anyone here has not been watching this esport over the last few years, maybe doesn't even know the fundamentals of the game, that 0 second goal, you'll see a lot of those. 0 seconds, the game not ending till the ball touches the ground. The most exciting moments in Rocket League happen right then. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly where we will all lose our collective minds as and when that happens on LAN, inevitably in London.
Cannot wait. But to get there, Stumpy, you have to win series like this, and SMPR are showing that they are more than capable of grinding out a series or two. Still in this upper bracket, still in this lead in this series. SMPR have to be favourites at this point.
Yeah, I mean, SMPR have looked like a team that aren't respecting what Moist are capable of, and I absolutely back them for doing that. I think that's exactly what they need to do, and it's how they need to do it. They're going about this series how I'm sure every team would want to. Again, just shooting on target. Cassio sees that Rise is grounded, and so sends that shot high, but with Vatira a chance to get a touch, he was utterly unchallenged and wasn't able to.
Yeah, Moist looking very, very shaken now. Joyo's missing it as well, and Vatira have managed to recover and dribbles that one away. Good dribbling from him, actually. Cassio was almost too close to get that one, but just about managed to recover. And this is where I want to see that next level from SMPR, actually. I want to see them punish Moist. Not just hope to get a goal eventually. I want them to force it. I want them to take some risks and really try and just make the most of this opportunity to beat the Moist team.
I mean, it's Moist as well, I'm sure. You know, it's a brand new pickup. We saw earlier that the guys from Moist are sitting on a sofa watching this together. They must be really testing the limits of that sofa, the edge of the seat, where they are just really wearing that down. They must have an inch of themselves still on that sofa, because it is so intense. When you see brand new teams get picked up, there's a lot of pressure. There's so much that you need to live up to. And you have to consider what that does to players and also to the people that pick them up, because this is a risk all around, and a very, very good risk, may I say.
So close right there. SMPR have had a couple of fortunate pinches of their own, but that one from Moist almost broke the SMPR net. Brilliant air dribbling there from Joyo. Chaussette reaching it, clearing it, getting a touch. Moist come again, Rise onto the backboard this time, trying to mix up their approach. Exactly what they need to do. Can't just air dribble everything. The SMPR are just hacking at every single ball that comes in their near vicinity and surviving. Rise has a go this time. He gets it over one, but there's Cassio and there's Chaussette. They're just playing so deep and so defensively, and Moist don't really have an answer at the moment. I'm thinking more dribbles. I'm thinking try and attract a SMPR defender on and win that 50-50.
Good boost grab from Chaussette, keeps it away from that attacking player. Vatira there has to return and clear it back into the corner with Rise finding Joyo. That is high, and with two players sent from SMPR, it's an opportunity for Moist to be able to take a shot. No, as Exotic, the man who has been so integral, such a key part of this SMPR jigsaw. Clear that ball away. Does get removed from the pitch though. Chance now for Moisco to get a shooting opportunity. Does miss, and Joyo down into the net.
SMPR had a chance on one end. When it went away, Cassio was completely isolated, and going up on the back wall is so tricky because you cannot go over the goal. If you do that, you'll fall into it. That's why Cassio had to go wide, and it made it really tricky for him. And credit to Moist. I mean, they made the most of that play. 3-on-1, and they got their goal.
Chance for Vatira to go for another dribble here, trying to just have that pinch central, but instead managed well by Cassio to keep it going into the corner. Rise, look at that patience. Somewhere where earlier he may well have jumped in to try and just get the block earlier on. Instead, he lets Cassio go for a little dribble, and then he goes to attack him, using the slow down tactic that SMPR have been using so fantastically against them.
Exotic, good touch past Joyo. As a pass into the center, if he can find Cassio, it just bounced off that back wall, agonizingly close there for SMPR. Moist get away with yet another one. Exotic this time wants to find Cassio, but it's closed off by Rise. He does more than that as well. Joyo, can he get onto the end of this ball? He's here. Both players want to take control of it. Chaussette is taken out of the game by Rise, and it was a brilliant demo on his way back. Moist looking a lot stronger after that opening goal.
Yes, absolutely. Making sure that they're able to just work their way back into this series, because you look at their performance in winter and you look at their major, and then you look at the level of EU behind them. They have to have thought, we're the best team coming into Europe, but they need to stay humble, and they need to realize that there are other teams that will be beating them every now and then. It very rarely happens that one team wins every single event that they're going to be taking part in. You know, it's not BDS time anymore.
All right, well, maybe they'll get back to that level with Seiko. We'll have to see. Looking forward to seeing them coming up against so many teams, but Moist, they have the lead. All they have to do is hold on to it just for a little bit longer. Can they do it? Chaussette sends it long again. This is where perhaps SMPR's lack of creativity can come back to bite them when they have to really force the issue like this. Rise is closed down by Exotic. Joyo then and loses the 50-50. Chaussette's coming in. Chaussette is surely going to equalize. No creativity needed. Just push the ball faster than your opponent.
Completely open on the equalizer, and Exotic was there as the backup plan. He could have got a bumper at demo, but he didn't need to. Dribbled in by Chaussette from the incredibly strong midfield 50, and with 30 seconds left, Moist need to maintain their composure. Can Rise get anything from that side wall? With Joyo sending it low as a chance. Exotic now goes high and far. It is very nervy times as Moist just let it slip at the death.
SMPR survived their panic in game 2. Now it's Moist trying to survive a panic of their own. Chaussette, an old school dribble from him. Goes towards Joyo, who goes over the top, just sending grenades over into the opposition defense right now. Rise on the back wall. Does he go for it? No, he leaves it, leaving it for Vatira. There's a pass there. Joyo's there. Can he finish it right now? And this time it's Moist that have their own 0-second victory.
Opportunity seized by Moist. Vatira selflessly sending it central, and below the crossbar, victory is found. Moist, they bring it back after what was starting to look like a potentially shaky game on Utopia.
Game 5, or that's what we love. We love Game 5s, however they happen. And when they happen with 2 0-second goals, I think, in a row, then we are absolutely laughing.
Listen, you love to see it, okay? You love to see it. It's gotta be a Game 5 when we're talking the mainstream. And of course, obviously the boys team, I think it's gotta be, I think this is the perfect, essentially, the perfect ending so far for the upper quarters. Now, for some results, I like to update the people on what's going on. We had BDS beating out Luminosity 3-1 in the series. The last game ending 5-4 in BDS favor. So very, very close up until the end. We currently have Solary is up 2-1 versus Endpoint. It's currently 1-1 in their game number 4. And of course, Vitality went ahead and swept Liquid. So those are the results. Those are the results so far. The action is heating up. We got more in store for you guys. Guys, we also want to push to you guys, as we have throughout today's broadcast, the team streams, okay? This is only the main broadcast. We have team streams for every single team. So you got a team in mind. You got a team you root for. Maybe a team you're interested in checking out if they got it. If they got what it takes, then the team streams is the location for that, all right? So just go on Twitch, look up your favorite team, check out their team stream. But we're going to head into Champions Field. Game 5 brought to you by Dacia. Soon, as the players are ready. It's going to be an interesting, I love this. This is going to be an interesting finish to the upper corners. Wouldn't you say, Stumpy?
Yeah, game 5s are where Moist/Queso, this being the first series, that is where they thrive. And here on Champions Field, in game 5, brought to you by Dacia. I've stolen your line there, Rob. I do apologize. This is where Moist are trying to continue their 10-win streak in series winning games.
It's incredible all the way throughout the LA Major. As soon as then Queso got to a deciding game, you just had this feeling they were going to win it. But it's different here. The atmosphere is different. They're playing back at home. It's online again. It's a brand new SMPR team. Everything has changed, but will we see consistent victors in this 5th game?
Everything's changed, but it's the same old Joyo, Rise, and Vatira. And that is so physical to start off this game as well on Champions Field. Vatira going for a catch after being demoed and seeing demos around him. You mentioned grenades earlier on, Cole. They were being chucked down range by SMPR into that blue half. A miss from Short Set does see Cassia having to pick up the slack. Final 50 boost from Vatira. Does see a miss and rise up for the double. But Short Set, that position on the sidewall, completely shutting down the movement from Moist.
Short Set has to be careful on that backboard, though. I think he's already conceded a goal for his team, missing from there, and then almost doing the same again just now. So a potential weak point in that SMPR defense that I'm sure Moist, with their coach as well, would have been keeping an eye on. As Vatira there into the corner. Exotic attempts to close him down, actually decides against him, and gets a couple of touches. Rise saw it happening, and SMPR can keep on coming. Good play from SMPR. They seem to have turned this 5th game into a battle from the off, as you mentioned, Stumpy, and I don't think they'll mind that at all.
Yeah, not whatsoever. I think this is going to be a battle from both teams where Moist, I feel, might consider this as, look, let's win this in 4. Let's win this in 3 even. And a wide shot may well see them taking the lead in the 5th. It does bounce nicely as Rise then backflips, and Joyo opening up the scoring on Champions Field.
Yeah, it looked a little bit wayward, the defending there from Chaussette again. He was in his own goal and just flopped past it. Rise just backflips completely. I think he'll be so relieved to see out of his windscreen his teammate approaching to put that one away himself. These players may be starting to get a little bit tired. We could see some mistakes in this 5th game, which always makes things more interesting, if you ask me. But it's Moist who take advantage of the first.
Yeah, really good opportunity from Moist there. Just pushing up. Despite the error, they were still able to get the goal from it. And that's going to be huge for them. Vatira going for a pre-jump, and Short Set absolutely toying with him. Sees that he goes for it. He's read that book back to front, and he knows that he can just go low with the ball. Rise with a long shot. Short Set into the corner, but with Vatira receiving, it's not as safe as he may well have thought. Short Set going for one of the most disastrous own goals I have ever seen in my life.
Well, he was going to dribble it away quite happily, and then all of a sudden Cassia was just saying, I'll stay still. I'm going to stay still. I'll stay still. I'll stay still. I'll stay still. Just was like, get off the road, get off the road, get off the road. Next thing you know, the ball's on his roof. He just backflips, Stumpy. He just flips back. Balls in the goal is 2-0.
Moist is exactly what they needed just to bring them back, mentally into the series. They know that they're in game 5. Seeing one like that may well make it a lot more lighthearted as well, because that is one that will be dented in the memory of SMPR, especially if they end up losing.
SMPR have to just laugh it off immediately and go next. That is all you can do in this situation. And to their credit, they seem to have done so, as Exotic is trying to get a few bumps on that backboard. Chaussette wants to get involved, gets half a touch, but it's still towards Joe, who's then met by Rise. Nice pre-jump attempt from the corner. Exotic is the player that it falls for. Now, SMPR, they're climbing a mountain, don't get me wrong, but they do still have time. 2 minutes is an absolute age in this beautiful esport that we call Rocket League.
Yeah, and they have a lot of opportunities until Vatira comes and slams it home, taking to the skies. He ends up getting that flip reset, and Rise with the backup plan keeps Exotic grounded and will get it on target.
New org, same old result in Game 5s or Game 7s. They just seem to have ice in their veins when it comes to these all-important games. Joyo is showing his freestyle history right there. Underneath the ball, spinning around it, trying to open things up even more. They want more goals. This is the true version of Moist. Here's Rise, tries to find Vatira, beats Exotic, but Exotic manages to force the ball wide, at least for now.
The chance for SMPR to try and get something going, as they've been so competitive throughout this series so far, to let it slip after that one goal until Joyo takes to the skies. It is stolen by Rise, but with Moist, there is always thunder.
Oh, Joyo, you thought you had that one with your little pirouettes in the sky, but Rise is saying, nah, I'll put it away. I'll make it 4. An absolute waltz for Moist in this deciding game. I mean, this is where their recent experience in the highest pressure situations of them all. You know, the bracket reset versus G2, going to Game 7, getting that deciding goal with 4 seconds left. When you're in a normal Game 5 and a regional, it suddenly seems easy. That's how these teams build their momentum.
And they're so new to this as well. They don't have that veteran ability just yet, but they're so not carefree in a negative way whatsoever. But they are carefree. They know that they are in this to vibe around and be the best Rocket League players in Europe at any given moment, and they do it so wonderfully. They go into these series knowing that they can win, and Rise continues to score yet another goal for him, his second, matching Vatira now in this game. It is 5-0. It is just error after error for SMPR, and you have to look back and see that it may well have originated from Chaussette's own goal.
It's turning into a complete and utter Moist saunter at this point, which is a shame because SMPR are not showing the quality of team that they are, particularly in defense in this 5th game. You know, they are playing like they're heartbroken, and for a team that relies so much on their solidity, it's a bit of a shame to see it happen like this, but this is a new roster, Stumpy, and losses like this will be important for them as well, with Exotic instead of Archie. Yeah,
it's absolutely character building for them, but what an incredible achievement this is already for Moist. You know, coming out of winter, they didn't make fall, bear in mind. They went to winter, they came second, they were the best EU team there by a long shot. They went toe-to-toe with G2. They managed to go to that second series. They lost it in 6 in the end, and they have scored 6 goals here. The final 15 seconds will count down as an absolute courtesy. Welcome Moist Esports to Rocket League, to the RLCS. It is everything they could have dreamed for and more. And we wish them every bit of luck as they go through the rest of this bracket.
When the pressure is on, you have to play at your best, and Moist just consistently play at their very, very best when it matters the very, very most. A huge, resounding Game 5 win there for Moist Esports. They take it 6-0 in what, if you've just tuned in, was actually a very, very close series.
All right. Well, I mean, 6-0. I'm thinking back. Stumpy, you said that was the worst own goal you've seen. Was that essentially like the early nail in the coffin? Essentially for like...
I think it was.
I don't know, the detrimental to the mental game of SMPR.
Yeah, I think you look at that moment where SMPR were being the better team, or were at least, you know, the level team at that point with Moist, and just... it was an error, and it was Chaussette just wanting to get rid of the ball. He knew it was in a dangerous position. He had to put it somewhere. His backflip, theoretically, could have sent it above the bar, and that would have been fine. We would have moved on, and it would have been okay. That was his intention. Instead, he just lazily backflips it into his own goal with literally zero pressure on him, and then Moist end up scoring 4 more.
I mean, obviously I wasn't in those comments, but I imagine that the real problem was that I reckon that Chaussette and Cassio were blaming each other. Cassio was saying, why were you driving towards me? Chaussette was thinking, why weren't you moving out my way. And because there's that question of whose fault was it, it's much more difficult, in my opinion, to move on from, because it's impossible not to be thinking, it was his fault though, right? Like, he should have moved out of the way. Yeah, but he shouldn't have backflipped.
Communication is key. All right, communication is key. And now I'm here to communicate that we have to go on a break. We got to pay some bills around here. Make sure the show keeps on going. The upper quarters is finished, and we're going to jump into lower round 1. EG versus Misfits right after this. Please stick around.